the House budget was approved. Overall, how was it working on your first budget?
Well, it was a tremendous experience in getting to know the needs of not only what's going on in my district, but learning about all of the activity throughout the Commonwealth and the various initiatives that are so important to, so many. And one of the biggest things that I'm thankful in the budget that came out of it was that the charter school reimbursement was increased by over $10 million from the governor's budget, which had a very significant impact on North Attleboro's state aid as well as state aid throughout the rest of the Commonwealth. And it's very intriguing and often challenging to do it remotely as best we can, as everybody's experiencing that right now. But we do our best to learn more about the needs of everything that we can do for our district.
Take me through the process. The governor submits a budget. The House approves their version of the governor's budget. Mm-hmm. The Senate does the same. The House and the Senate get together. They come up with a final budget they send to the governor. Did I get that right?
Right, and then the governor will usually send some things back, and then the override process begins based on the need or importance of it at the time.
This budget, your first, was unique in the fact that we're in the tail end of a COVID pandemic, and there were costs associated with dealing with the pandemic and with COVID. Ventilation. I know
Yes.
you had good news for
Yes.
Students and teachers in your district.
Absolutely. One of the things that has always been important to me is to always work with our municipal partners and learn about what priorities are they considering right now. And I had heard, as a former town councilor and as a former school committee member, that air quality is something that needed to be addressed in a number of our elementary schools. And we thought this would be a great opportunity to not only stop the spread of dangerous air contaminants, but also continue to protect public health from COVID-19. North Attleboro was in the red for a decent amount of time when it came to COVID-19, and there was a lot of issues that have now been resolved from COVID-19. So we wanted to make sure that we could do everything we can to stop the spread and make sure that our students and staff are able to work in a hospitable work environment that's safe.
It's important to note that this was money not in the governor's budget. This was an amendment.
Correct.
How closely did you work on getting that amendment passed?
So we worked pretty closely with the chair of Ways and Means, and after it was drafted and advocating for it on a regular basis, sometimes it would take a lot of late nights of phone calls and emails. We didn't finish the overall budget until 2:30 in the morning on a Wednesday night with the Thursday morning, but we wanted to make sure and stay up to make sure that we were able to get the funding that we wanted. And I also would like to say that, I do represent Mansfield as part of my district, and Representative Phillips, who also represents a precinct in Mansfield, filed an amendment that we were able to support that would provide about $15,000 to the Our Daily Bread Food Pantry in Mansfield to do some facility and storage upgrades. So we wanted to make sure that was highlighted as well. And I know that Rep. Hawkins has been a very stalwart advocate for the homeless shelter serving northern Bristol County. So we were able to support that as well as a few other initiatives.
Back to the ventilators for 1 second. It's
Yep.
important to note that these will not only help during the final months of
Sure.
COVID, going to help with flu season and just overall air quality moving forward.
Right, absolutely. We found out by looking at various HVAC and IAQ reports that a lot of the current ventilators in North Attleboro are not even being produced anymore, and the parts for them can't even be purchased anymore. So this was an investment that we, desperately needed to make. And, it's so important for our kids and our staff to know that they can go to school and not having to worry about, things like that. So this will be a very long-term investment, and, we're looking forward to seeing the rest of the process play out.